Hello again, welcome back, Stefan Karl here. Since I recorded my video yesterday about the Queen of Spades card, some episodes, some things, some aspects of the chart, the spread, have kept popping up in my head. So I decided to make an additional, short of hopefully video about speaking about those things, those thoughts. I don't think it's very interesting for anyone, perhaps, but if you have a deep interest in getting to know this card, I think it might be. So some additional thoughts based on some episodes from the life of my uncle, basically. I really think they have bearing on the spread, like an illustration of what's going on. First, I want to mention, and I mentioned I got into the year spread of the moon. I mean, yeah, the moon position for each year, and I told you that they have stressful. Not only my uncle, every Queen of Spades are going to have those same cards playing out each year. Moon is where we are receptive, and as I said yesterday, these years in their childhood from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 up to 13 are going to be very stressful years for them. So then I remembered what happened, what really happened, like an illustration in the life of my uncle. This was back in the 30s, and in the United States there was a depression, and Sweden, where he grew up, wasn't that well off neither. Maybe you heard about the crash of Kruger, Ivar Krüger, and my grandfather's grandparents went through some very tough years in the 20s and 30s. My grandfather had lost his job as a breaker on the railway and worked. He was just a very hard worker. Well, he bought a small farm, and he bought it from his father-in-law. Just a small place, like a, what do we call them, like a homestead, on the condition that his father-in-law would stay there living with them on the second floor, and together with two of his daughters. So he would live with his growing family and wife, with his father-in-law, who was elderly, and two sister-in-laws. And it just didn't work. It went sour. It seems to have been a living hell, illustrated by the fact that when my great-grandfather celebrated, 75 or 80 years or something, everyone was invited except my grandmother, his daughter, and my grandfather and his family that lived in the same house. So you can imagine. And finally they realized that it just wouldn't work, and the old man accepted to move out, and he moved to another place together with his two daughters. So that was the environment where my uncle grew up. And I mentioned this like an illustration of how they are fed up with drama. You know, it's not that they can't handle it, really. They can. They have Queen of Spades, indicated by this Mars card, has an incredible capacity for working out stressful situations, but maybe they save their capacity for when it's really needed. I would very much love to hear about the Queen of Spades that has been tested in war, you know, in a extremely tough situation, because I believe they would be like the best. But that the daily life stress, they just won't tolerate it. And as you can see from my uncle's story, they're just fed up from something that happened between that age, from like 7 to 14. The same with a woman I got to know from Peru. She went away from her family basically because there were too much drama, too much stress. So she went through something similar. She felt that she had to be the grown one in a household where there were two older women, her grandmother and her mother, and still she had to become the responsible one, and decided to just leave, right? So I wanted to share like an illustration of Queen of Spades. Keep an eye open if you are a Queen of Spades. I mean, it would be wonderful to hear your own story about, especially these years, those formating years, right? How that stressful aspect of life played out. It doesn't harm you much. I mean, the moon card here is extremely. It's fine. It's just fine. Nine of diamonds. That's connection to something higher. So I guess that in that period of life, you learn to connect to something beyond, something higher, and that's where you take a deep decision in your essence of your being, or those who are Queen of Spades, not to deal with earthly matter too much when it's unhealthy, and just go transcend basically, right? So that would be interesting to hear your opinion about that, your experience of that. And then I remember another my uncle was a very special man, and this is a very special card, and I'm pretty sure what I'm going to tell now is also an illustration of Queen of Spades mentality and how they act. Because as I said, my uncle, he dedicated many hours to document the lives of his parents. He used that's just the baseline of what I'm going to tell, because I'm trying to say he respected his parents. He visited them. He was a dedicated son, basically. Okay. Yet, when in 1995, when my grandmother, because she was really old when she had my father, right? She was 46, so it's like she could have been my great grandmother. That's how old she was. I remember her she lived until 1980. But she was really old, and when she would have turned 100, she was gone already. We all gathered. My uncle Karl Olof, my Queen of Spades uncle, took the initiative to gather his 4 siblings and their children and family. So we are like, how many are we? 5, 4, 3, 7, like 12 cousins. And many of them had children, so quite a bunch of people. We gathered one summer day in Sweden, in southern Sweden, where this happened, on the place where my grandmother was born 100 years ago. So this was on her birthday in June. And remembered her, and remembered everything, and had some kind of an improvised, I wouldn't say ceremony, but I mean, it was a moment of coming together and remembering an ancestor. And then he declared, and this is what I'm heading for, then he declared the family dissolved, right? He said that, now we are the old ones, the grandmothers and grandfathers, and within a short time there will be new grandmothers and grandfathers, and time goes on. So let's be realistic. This family, in the form that we know it doesn't have any function anymore. I recommend you, I encourage you to interchange addresses and keep in touch, those of you who want to. who want to, but the family as such from this moment is dissolved. And he dissolved the family. A very, very brave and clear-sighted thing to do, I think. I'm a 5 of clubs. We have a lot of kings and 7 energy death card, so we are definitely into that kind of action. My Mercury card is 7 of diamond. That's a death card, right? We love to break things so that we can make them new again, right? So I very, very much liked this event and this idea, and understood why he felt that he wanted to do this. But again, I think it's an illustration of the Queen of Spades' mind, that they don't want to deal with unnecessary drama, and they want 6 of Spades in their life. They want independency, responsibility, healthiness, right? And this was a very healthy thing to do. Let's be honest. This family does not exist anymore, right? Because the old ones are gone since long, and we are going to float away in this ocean of time, being separated forever anyway. So let's face it. Let's look time in the eye, right? And declare the family dissolved. So again, several aspects here I think illustrates what's happening. As I said, 7 of diamond is the card who really dissolves things. All 7, they have a 7 here, but this is a more personal 7 about their own dissolution, right? Which they have a very easy time to accept. So for sure, it has to do with this card. They have an easy time to accept their own dissolution, their own amputation in some way, right? Because 7 in Mars position, it's effortless, it's easy. They accept losses when it comes to themselves. But then 7 of diamond is like accepting loss in the outer world, right? And this 4 of diamond here, in a way, it acts like a 7 of diamond because of its position. Because the lesson of Rahu, the Rahu lesson of Queen of Spades, is to not cling to safety, not cling to material safety. Also, of course, Saturn. Giving up, Saturn encourages them to give up home. This was not his childhood home, but the one of his mother. Give up a safe place, a home. Give up. This is giving up, right? Saturn position is give up your safe place. You don't need it. And Rahu position is similar, but it's not like give up. It's rather find it within yourself. Realize that you have that capacity within. It's very, very similar. Only that this is led by Saturn and this is led by Rahu. So that was what he did. He accepted, he chose not to cling to safety. The safety of having a family, an identity in this place, right? We are so united. We come together. We are, the myth of the family. No, let's not do it. Let's realize that let's dissolve this family because we don't need it, because we have this value, this security of having a family. We carry it within. We don't need the outer form. We don't need the outer form of having a family because we have it within us. So, and then of course, heart of Queen of Hearts, they have a hard time with long-term relationships. So they have this tendency, this longing for putting an end to relationships. So for sure, the Pluto card I'm talking about now, he chose to put an end to a long relationship. And of course, 8 of Spades, being happy with who you are, which strives for, and there we have it, 7 of Hearts. There's a death card there, giving up relationships, being in peace with losing relationships. So that's how that played out. My uncle, when this happened, was like, let's see, it's 67 years old, I think. So quite mature man. So that's one cool story. And then I want to tell you about his passing away when he was 84, because that turned into a story too. He felt ill, or he felt tired, and told his wife one morning that he would go to rest. I mean, just to lay down for a while. And then he didn't come down. So when she checked on him, he was gone. She realized that he had died in his sleep, right? And then, so she called her. They had four children, my cousins. She called them, and the older one, who lived just half an hour or so away from them, he was the first one on the scene. So he came in, and he saw his now dead father lying on the bed. And they was waiting for the doctor. The doctor was his brother, I mean the other son, who is a medical doctor. He would come and check him and write all the necessary papers and so on. So while waiting, my cousin, Karl Olof's son, elder son, felt he was a little tired. So he lay down in the bed on his mother's side, and he fell asleep at the side of his now dead late father. And there he was sleeping when his brother, the medical doctor, showed up. And the brother later said, I was looking at them and I wasn't sure which one of them was the dead one, at first. So what has this to do with Queen of Spades? Well, I just think it was a wonderful tribute to a person, Queen of Spades. What my cousin did was a tribute to a person who does not want drama, right? Like, he did not yell, he didn't even cry. He just lay down and fell asleep in the same bed at the other side of his late father. I can't think of an action more absent of, is that what you say, of drama than doing that. So I think he was really honoring the 6 of Spades here, because 6 of Spades in the Neptune card is not only I want to be an adult, I want to be independent. It's also I want to deal with situations where people behave maturely, independently, healthily. And as I say, I think his son really did that. So that story I want to share too. So these were the 3 stories that came up in my mind. I hope they give some additional idea about this peculiar and rare card, Queen of Spades. Thank you.